What's that I hear? Another soundbar review? And it's got some kind of weird gimmick to it? Well, you know me, I love a good party trick. Hi, I'm Chris with Worldwide Stereo, and this is the JBL Bar 1300X. Complete with soundbar, wireless subwoofer, and rechargeable wireless rear speakers, this soundbar may be the perfect solution to getting surround sound where you never thought possible before. So tag along with me as we find out exactly what makes this soundbar so unique. If you've been following our YouTube channel for the past few years, you may have seen us talk about some of JBL's other audio gear, from Bluetooth speakers to party boxes to the previous incarnation of this soundbar in front of me. They are no stranger to high quality audio, and with almost 100 years of experience to back that up, I had high hopes for the 1300X. When I first got to take the 1300X home for testing, I was immediately interested in experimenting with the wireless surround speakers, and we'll get to that later. But I have to say, I felt like a kid on Christmas opening up a shiny new toy. While unboxing the soundbar, there were a few things I noticed right away. The soundbar itself is small enough to fit under a 55-inch TV, and the subwoofer is massive. We also have the two wireless surround speakers here, and a plethora of accessories, mounting brackets, power cables, an HDMI cable, and documentation for quick setup and warranties. We also get a remote and a pair of AAA batteries. Lastly, there are also these little covers that cap onto the ends of the soundbar when the wireless speakers are pulled off. Everything you could possibly need to get started is in the box. Keep in mind that if you keep the wireless speakers attached to the main segment of the soundbar for charging, it is wider than a 55-inch TV and may hang off your TV stand. I personally ran into that exact problem myself. Stylistically, JBL kept things simple. Easy to read buttons on the bar, sub, speakers, and remote, and everything that's standard color of AV grayish black. No special party lights or blank center channel or anything of that sort. Most people that I work with want their sound equipment to disappear, and next to being truly invisible, I think this is the best job a soundbar could do, while packing in 16 discrete channels of audio. The subwoofer has a 12-inch down-firing driver and a rather large flow port in the back. I would recommend keeping this guy at minimum a foot off the wall for best performance. The soundbar and rear speakers have a total of 11 audio channels for the front, surround, and surround rear channels, while on the top of the bar and surround modules, we have 4 channels for Atmos overhead audio. So in total, we have an 11.1.4 channel Dolby Atmos capable soundbar. On the top side of the bar, we have volume up and down and input selection. On the front of the bar, hidden behind the grill, there is an LED display that will give you visual feedback on volume level, power state, and source selection. Moving around to the back of the bar, we have what I would say to be a generous amount of I/O for a soundbar. Moving from left to right, we have the AC power input, a USB port used for charging or MP3 file playback, an Ethernet port for hardwired internet connectivity, 3 HDMI ports for video pass-through, and an HDMI ARC/eARC port, and an optical port. I would say that all bases have been firmly covered by JBL here. With all those ports, it can be kind of daunting to know which to use and when. The USB port will most likely never be used by most people unless you were desperate for a USB power supply or had a lot of MP3 files you wanted to play back off of a flash drive or something. The Ethernet port is a good to have but not 100% required. If you have a strong enough and reliable enough Wi-Fi connection where the 1300 would go, I would probably stick to using that. The Ethernet connection ensures a reliable and stable connection to the internet for those of you with spotty Wi-Fi. The 3 HDMI ports for video pass-through is a really nice feature to have. If you are like me and have multiple gaming consoles, streaming devices, computers, and Blu-ray players, you may find yourself limited with the ports on your TV. It's nice to have a few more options for connections with what is essentially a 4K 60Hz HDMI switcher built into your soundbar. Lastly, you have 2 options when connecting to a TV for audio. I would strongly suggest that you pair this soundbar with a TV that supports Enhanced Audio Return Channel, or eARC for short. eARC is the best way to get Dolby Atmos playback on most home theater soundbars like the 1300. Optical connections are at this point a legacy connection for supporting old TV sets that simply lack ARC compatibility altogether, and will deliver a subpar surround sound experience when compared to the full capabilities of eARC. When it comes to my impression of the sound quality and immersiveness of the 1300, I was impressed by a lot of things and only let down by a few things. Number 1, the actual surround sound and overhead audio effects were astounding. Most Dolby Atmos soundbars create the illusion of speakers in places where there are none by bouncing and reflecting sound off of your walls and ceiling. I set this up in my bedroom with the soundbar below my TV, subwoofer to the side, and surround speakers on my nightstands on either side of my bed. I was really blown away at how realistic overhead effects sounded. The combination of 4 Atmos drivers and excellent room calibration played a big part of this. I was also able to tune the volume level using either JBL's companion app or the remote control to fit my needs in terms of intensity of those effects depending on the time of day I was using this, as I didn't want to disturb my neighbors too much. Something I would really like to see JBL add is more granularity of control over those volume levels. The subwoofer, for example, has 5 levels of volume. Sometimes level 1 was not enough bass, but level 2 was just way too much. The same goes for the surround speakers and Atmos channels. You only get 3 distinct levels for those: low, medium, and high. I would prefer to have independent volume sliders for all of what I just mentioned, plus the master volume control. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here, but at times dialogue was a bit difficult to hear, and the inclusion of an adjustable speech enhancement feature would go a long way. JBL does have a speech enhancement algorithm called Pure Voice, but with no manual adjustments that I could find. I'm happy JBL gives us the amount of control that we get already, and using the app or remote makes it very easy to make adjustments on the fly. Maybe just a smidge more customizability would make a big difference though. A few things I have yet to call out that I need to mention though. Number 1, thank you so much JBL for adding support for charging the wireless speakers over USB-C. While these little guys do have up to a 10-hour battery life while being used, it sucks to have to remember to snap them back onto the sides of the bar to charge them at the end of the night. What if you forget in the middle of movie night and you have to miss out on all the sweet action happening behind you? Well, now you can charge and use them at the same time, provided you have access to an outlet and a long enough USB-C cable. Seriously though, massive improvement over the situation so many people found themselves in with the JBL Bar 9.1. One more cool trick with these little fellas is that they are fully independent Bluetooth speakers as well. So if you wanted to take one with you out on the deck for a little music playback while you fire up the grill, you could. You could even set them up as little miniature stereo pair. How many people are going to use this function is anyone's guess, but it's really cool that it's included. Music playback is incredibly simple with the 1300 as well. JBL has built-in compatibility for all the major casting options: Apple AirPlay 2, Chromecast, and Alexa multi-room music. Add in Bluetooth 5.0 support, and you have all your bases covered for getting your favorite music to play back on the 1300. I've mentioned JBL's companion app a few times now. It's called JBL One. It has a ton of control options for the soundbar, as well as a multitude of other JBL products. You can run room calibration through the app, make adjustments to the volume levels of the speakers, and initiate firmware updates using it. The app doesn't give you greater control over volume than you already have via the remote, but it does give you a fancy UI to mess with. The JBL Bar 1300 comes in at $1699.95. Comparable to giants in the soundbar world like Sonos and Sony. You get a lot of sound and maybe one of the best all-in-one box systems for an easy-to-use surround sound setup. The flexibility alone with true wireless surround speakers is a leg up on anyone. Put them up when it's movie time, take them down when it's over. No wires to run, an easy-to-use companion app, and reliable functionality. This is the perfect soundbar for people looking for surround sound in complicated situations. Bedrooms, open concept living rooms, multi-purpose basements, basically anytime that you want surround sound some of the time, but not all of the time. Flexibility is key with the JBL Bar 1300, and since no room is perfect for surround sound, flexibility is also king. Thank you so much for joining me for our review of JBL's new soundbar, the Bar 1300X. You can learn more about this online at worldwidestereo.com, or if you're in the area, you can stop by our showroom in Ardmore or Montgomeryville, PA. We offer 60-day returns, free shipping on all orders, and we're authorized dealers for everything we sell. If you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comment section below, or you can call or email us at any time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. This is Chris from Worldwide Stereo. Thanks for tuning in.